Captain Jake Harrison stood on the bridge of the UHS Defiance, staring at the star map that glowed before him. The red zone marked on the display showed the Kepler Nexus, a sector of space that humans were forbidden to enter. For 50 years, the alien races had told Earth that this area was too dangerous for human ships. They said it was cursed and would kill anyone who tried to explore it. Jake did not believe them anymore. The communication screen flickered to life, showing Admiral Frank Collins back on Earth. The old man's face looked tired and worried. Captain Harrison, what you are about to hear must stay secret. We have discovered something that changes everything. Jake nodded. His crew gathered around him on the bridge. Dr. Lisa Carter, his science officer, stepped closer to listen. Lieutenant Commander Rick Martinez checked his weapons panel. Engineer Amy Patterson looked up from her repair work. They all knew this was important. Admiral Collins continued, "Our deep space sensors have picked up massive energy readings from the center of the Kepler Nexus. The power levels are unlike anything we have ever seen. Dr. Stevens at the research station believes this could be zero-point energy extraction." Dr. Carter's eyes went wide. "Admiral, that kind of technology could solve our energy crisis forever. Earth's population is growing fast, and our colonies need more power every year." "Exactly," Admiral Collins said. "But there is more. Our spy satellites have been watching the alien fleets. The Zephyrians, Krillians, and Vorthans have been mining operations on the edge of the Forbidden Zone. They take resources from there while keeping us away from the good stuff." Jake felt anger rising in his chest. "They have been lying to us this whole time. It appears so. The energy signatures match nothing in our database, but they are definitely artificial. Someone or something built massive technology in that sector. The aliens do not want us to find it." Amy Patterson spoke up from her engineering station. "Captain, the Defiance has the new adaptive armor plating. We also installed those experimental plasma cannons last month. If we are going in there, we are better equipped than any human ship has ever been." Dr. Carter pulled up her research on her tablet. "I have been studying the alien claims about the sector being cursed. Their own historical records mention this area, but they are very vague. They always say it is dangerous for carbon-based life. But humans are carbon-based, and we have survived everywhere else we have gone." Jake looked at each member of his crew. These people had followed him through 3 years of deep space exploration. They had faced pirates, hostile aliens, and equipment failures. They trusted him, and he trusted them. "Admiral, what are our orders?" Admiral Collins was quiet for a moment. "Officially, I cannot order you to violate the Galactic Council Treaty. Earth signed an agreement to stay out of the Kepler Nexus, but unofficially, we need to know what is in there. Humanity's future might depend on it." Jake understood. "So we are going in without official support. If you get caught, Earth will say you went rogue. We cannot start a war with the entire alien coalition. But Jake, if you find what we think is in there, it could change the balance of power in the galaxy." Dr. Carter looked at her captain. "Jake, I have studied alien technology for 15 years. Whatever is producing those energy readings is far beyond what any current civilization can build. If we can access it, humanity might finally have a real chance to compete with the older species." Lieutenant Commander Martinez checked his tactical display. "Captain, I have been monitoring alien fleet movements. They have increased patrols around the Kepler Nexus in the last month. It is almost like they are expecting something." Amy Patterson nodded. "Our intelligence reports show they have been moving warships into the area. More ships than needed for normal patrol duty." Jake made his decision. "Admiral, we are going in. The Defiance is ready, and my crew is ready. If the aliens wanted to keep us out, they should not have lied to us about why." Admiral Collins smiled for the first time during the conversation. "I was hoping you would say that. Good luck, Cap. And remember, officially this conversation never happened." The screen went dark. Jake turned to his crew. "You all heard the Admiral. This mission is dangerous and unofficial. Anyone who wants to transfer off the ship can do so now. No questions asked." Nobody moved. Dr. Carter spoke for all of them. "Captain, we joined this crew to explore the unknown. This is what we signed up for." Jake nodded. "Amy, how long to get the ship ready for departure?" 2 hours, Captain. I want to double-check all our new systems. Do it. Lisa, I want you to prepare everything we know about the Kepler Nexus. Study those energy readings again. Rick, check our weapons and shields. I have a feeling we might need them. 2 hours later, the UHS Defiance powered up its engines and left Earth orbit. The ship was 300 meters long and carried a crew of 120 people. It looked like a normal exploration vessel, but the hull contained experimental human technology that no alien had ever seen. As they jumped to hyperspace, Dr. Carter worked on her analysis. Captain, I am finding some interesting patterns in the energy signatures. They pulse in regular intervals, almost like a heartbeat, but the power levels are enormous. Whatever is making this energy could power all of Earth for 1,000 years. Jake studied the star charts. How long until we reach the boundary of the Forbidden Zone? 18 hours at current speed. Amy reported from engineering. Good. That gives us time to prepare. Lisa, I want you to scan everything as we approach. Look for any signs of alien technology or natural phenomena that could explain their warnings. The hours passed quickly. The crew worked with quiet efficiency, preparing for whatever they might find. Jake could feel the tension building as they got closer to their destination. Every human in the ship knew they were about to make history. Dr. Carter's sensors began picking up new data as they approached the Kepler Nexus boundary. Captain, I am reading massive gravitational anomalies throughout the sector. There are also electromagnetic fields that do not match any natural phenomena. Someone definitely built something big in there. Lieutenant Commander Martinez looked up from his weapons panel. Captain, I am detecting multiple ships on long-range sensors. They are positioned around the sector boundary. Jake felt his stomach tighten. Alien ships. Yes, sir. At least 30 vessels from different species, Zephyrian, Krillian, and Vorthan designs. They are in patrol formation. Dr. Carter continued her scans. The energy readings are getting stronger as we approach. Whatever is in the center of this sector is incredibly powerful. Jake made the call that would change everything. Amy, take us across the boundary. Slow and steady. As the UHS Defiance crossed into the forbidden Kepler Nexus, alarms began sounding throughout the ship. The alien patrol ships immediately changed course and began moving toward them. Rick Martinez's tactical display lit up with warnings. Captain, all 30 alien ships are converging on our position. They are powering up weapons. Jake looked at the main screen as the alien fleet surrounded them. He realized that this had been a trap from the beginning. The aliens had been waiting for humans to finally challenge the restriction. They wanted this confrontation. Red alert! All hands to battle stations. This is what we came for. People, let us show them that humans do not back down from a fight. The first shots were about to be fired in a battle that would decide the future of humanity in the galaxy. The alien ships moved into attack formation around the UHS Defiance. Captain Jake Harrison watched the tactical display as 30 warships surrounded his single vessel. The enemy ships were sleek and powerful, built by 3 different alien races that had controlled the galaxy for centuries. Captain, we are receiving a transmission from the lead Zephyrian vessel. Lieutenant Commander Rick Martinez reported from his station. Put it on screen, Jake ordered. The bridge filled with the image of a tall, gray-skinned alien with large black eyes. When it spoke, its voice was cold and emotionless. Human vessel, you have violated sacred space. You will surrender immediately and prepare to be destroyed. Jake stepped forward. I am Captain Harrison of the Earthship Defiance. We came here peacefully to investigate energy readings. We have every right to explore this sector under galactic law. The alien's face showed no emotion. You have no rights here, human. Your species was allowed to join the galaxy as a junior member. You were told to stay in your assigned space. Now you must pay the price for your disobedience. Dr. Lisa Carter looked up from her science station. Captain, they are not even trying to negotiate. This was planned. The Zephyrian continued. Speaking, for too long, we have watched your species grow and spread. You humans are dangerous. You fight too much and ask too many questions. It is time to solve the human problem before it gets worse. Jake felt anger building inside him. So this was never about keeping us safe. You just wanted us contained. Your species thinks too much of itself. You believe you can explore anywhere and take whatever you want. Today, you learned that the galaxy belongs to those who earned it long ago. The transmission ended. Jake looked at his crew. They all understood now that this was not just about one forbidden sector. The alien races had decided that humanity was a threat that needed to be eliminated. Captain, 2 more alien fleets are approaching, Martinez reported. Looks like they called for backup before we even got here. Engineer Amy Patterson spoke from her station. The good news is our new armor system is fully charged. The adaptive plating should handle their energy weapons better than they expect. Commander Tony Blake entered the bridge, leading a squad of Marines in full combat gear. The big man looked ready for war. Captain, my Marines are prepared for boarding actions. We have Sergeant Kelly Brooks positioned with her sniper rifle at key choke points throughout the ship. Jake nodded. Good. Amy, are our experimental weapons ready? Yes, sir. The plasma cannons are charged and the kinetic missiles are loaded. They have never seen weapons like ours. Dr. Sam Rivera, the ship's physicist, looked up from his console with excitement in his eyes. Captain, something strange is happening. As the alien ships get closer, the energy readings from the sector center are increasing. It is almost like their presence is triggering some kind of response. Before Jake could respond, the alien fleet opened fire. Dozens of energy beams struck the Defiance from all directions. The ship shook violently, but the adaptive armor held strong. The experimental plating absorbed the energy and spread it across the hull. Damage report, Jake called out. Amy checked her systems. Minimal damage. Captain, the armor is working perfectly. Their weapons are not penetrating. The aliens seemed shocked that their first attack had failed. Jake could see confusion on their ships as they tried to understand why the human vessel was still intact. Rick, return fire. Show them what human weapons can do. The Defiance's plasma cannons fired back at the nearest alien ship. The bright blue energy beams cut through the enemy's shields like they were made of paper. The alien vessel exploded in a brilliant flash of light. Direct hit, Martinez reported with satisfaction. Their shields could not handle our plasma frequency. The alien fleet immediately changed tactics. They began moving in complex patterns, trying to avoid the human weapons while maintaining their attack. But Jake's crew was ready for this. Amy, launch kinetic missiles at the Krillian ships on our port side, Jake ordered. The Defiance fired 6 missiles that moved much faster than the aliens expected. Unlike energy weapons, the kinetic warheads could not be stopped by energy shields. They smashed into 3 alien ships, causing massive explosions. Dr. Rivera was studying his sensors with growing excitement. Captain, the energy source at the sector center is definitely responding to this battle. Power levels are increasing every minute. I think we woke something up, Sergeant Brooks reported over the communication system. Captain, I can see alien boarding pods launching from their ships. They are coming for us. Commander Blake smiled. Let them come. My Marines are ready. The first alien boarding pods attached to the Defiance's hull with magnetic clamps. The aliens inside began cutting through the outer armor with energy tools, but they were not prepared for what waited inside. When the first group of Zephyrian soldiers broke through into the ship's corridor, they found Sergeant Brooks waiting for them with her sniper rifle. The tall woman had served in 3 wars before joining the space fleet. She knew how to fight. The aliens carried energy rifles that fired bright beams of light, but Brooks used an old-fashioned projectile weapon that fired metal bullets at high speed. The aliens had never faced kinetic weapons before. Their personal shields were designed to stop energy attacks, not solid projectiles. Brooks took down 4 aliens with 4 shots before they even understood what was happening. Commander Blake's Marines moved in with explosive grenades and automatic rifles. The aliens found themselves facing a type of warfare they had never experienced. Captain, we are repelling all boarding attempts, Blake reported. These aliens do not know how to fight infantry combat. They have been using energy weapons so long they forgot about kinetic force. On the bridge, Dr. Carter made an important discovery. Jake, I am picking up something incredible. The energy source is not just getting stronger, it is sending out some kind of scanning beam. It is examining all the ships in this area. Dr. Rivera nodded with excitement. The scan passed right through our ship, but it seemed to focus longer on the alien vessels. Whatever is out there, it is very interested in our enemies. The space battle continued with increasing intensity. More alien ships arrived from across the sector, but the Defiance continued to hold its own. Human weapons and tactics were proving more effective than anyone had expected. Jake realized that this battle was about more than just one human ship. The aliens had used this as an excuse to test human capabilities and justify eliminating his species. But they had not expected humans to fight back so effectively. Captain, long-range sensors are detecting massive structures throughout the sector, Dr. Carter reported. These are not natural formations. Someone built installations on dozens of planets and moons in this area. How old are these structures? Jake asked. Rivera checked his readings. The energy signature suggests they are thousands of years old, much older than any current galactic civilization. Jake began to understand. Lisa scanned the alien ships. Look for any technology that matches these ancient energy signatures. Dr. Carter worked quickly on her analysis. After several minutes, she looked up with shock on her face. Captain, the alien ships are using modified versions of the same technology. They have been reverse engineering ancient equipment for centuries. The pieces of the puzzle began falling into place. The aliens had found this ancient technology long ago and used it to build their empire. They kept other species away to protect their secret and maintain their advantage. But now something was waking up in response to the battle. The ancient installations were powering up after sleeping for thousands of years. Whatever civilization had built them was gone, but their technology remained, and it seemed very interested in the fight between humans and the aliens who had stolen its secrets. The space battle raged around the UHS Defiance as Captain Jake Harrison made a difficult decision. The ancient energy readings were getting stronger every minute, and his ship was taking damage despite their advanced armor. He needed answers, and the only way to get them was to investigate the source. Lisa, I need you to take a team down to the central planet. We have to find out what is causing these energy readings. Jake said to Dr. Carter. Dr. Helen Murphy, the ship's archaeologist, looked up from her research station. Captain, I should go with Dr. Carter. If these are ancient ruins, I can help translate any writing or symbols we find. Jake nodded. Take Lieutenant Steve Chen as your pilot. He can get you through this battle in the stealth shuttle. Dr. Carter gathered her equipment while the ship shook from another alien attack. Jake, the readings are definitely coming from the planet's surface. Something big is buried there. Lieutenant Steve Chen was already preparing the small shuttle in the launch bay. The compact ship had experimental stealth technology that could hide it from alien sensors. Chief Petty Officer Danny Walsh loaded his demolitions equipment into the shuttle. Why are you bringing explosives? Dr. Murphy asked. Walsh grinned. If we find doors that won't open, I can make new ones. The shuttle launched from the Defiance, while the larger ship continued fighting the alien fleet. Chen piloted through the laser fire and missile explosions with skill that impressed even the experienced scientists. There, Dr. Carter pointed at the planet below. The energy readings are strongest near that mountain range. As they flew closer, the mountain revealed itself to be artificial. Massive structures made of some unknown metal rose from the planet's surface. The buildings were covered in strange symbols that glowed with soft blue light. Those are not mountains, Dr. Murphy said with excitement. Those are cities, ancient cities that are thousands of years old. Chen landed the shuttle near the largest structure. The building was enormous, bigger than anything humans had ever built. The walls were smooth and unmarked by time, as if they had been constructed yesterday. Dr. Carter's scanner immediately detected high levels of energy coming from inside the structure. The power source is definitely in there. The readings are off the charts. Dr. Murphy studied the symbols carved into the entrance. This is unlike any language in our database, but the mathematical patterns suggest it might be a form of universal communication. Chief Walsh examined the entrance. No visible doors or openings. Want me to blow a hole in the wall? Before anyone could answer, the symbols began glowing brighter. The walls simply dissolved, creating a perfect doorway. The team looked at each other in amazement. It recognized us, Dr. Murphy whispered. The building knows we are here. Inside, the structure was filled with corridors that stretched in all directions. The walls were covered with more glowing symbols, and the air hummed with energy. Emergency! Lighting activated as they walked, showing them the way deeper into the complex. Dr. Carter's equipment detected massive energy flows throughout the building. This entire structure is one giant machine. Everything here is connected to a central power source. They reached a large chamber filled with strange devices and control panels. In the center was a holographic display showing the entire Kepler Nexus sector. Red dots marked the location of every ship in the current battle. Dr. Murphy began photographing the symbols on the walls. These markings are telling a story. Give me a few minutes to work on the translation. While she worked, Dr. Carter studied the technology around them. The devices were clearly beyond anything current galactic civilization could build. The energy efficiency alone was impossible by known physics. I found something, Chief Walsh called from across the room. He was standing near what looked like a memorial wall covered in symbols and images. Dr. Murphy joined him and began studying. The markings, her face grew pale as she translated the ancient writing. This is a record of what happened here. The civilization that built this place called themselves the Architects. What does it say? Dr. Carter asked. The Architects created a peaceful federation of thousands of worlds. They helped primitive species develop technology and joined their alliance. Everything was peaceful for thousands of years. Dr. Murphy continued reading, her voice becoming more troubled. Then something went wrong. 3 of the species they had helped turned against them. The Zephyrians, Krillians, and Vorthans used biological weapons to attack the Architects. Dr. Carter felt a chill. The same aliens that are fighting us right now. It gets worse. The memorial says the 3 species committed genocide. They killed every architect in the galaxy, then took over their technology and claimed it as their own. Chief Walsh looked at the symbols with new understanding. So the current galactic powers built their entire civilization on murder and theft. Dr. Murphy nodded sadly. The Architects knew they were dying, so they built these defense systems. Throughout the sector, the installations were designed to activate if the genocidal species ever returned. Dr. Carter's scanner began detecting new energy patterns. The defense systems are waking up right now. The battle in space is triggering the ancient protocols. On the holographic display, they could see new energy signatures appearing throughout the sector. Dozens of installations on different planets were powering up for the first time in thousands of years. There's more, Dr. Murphy said, continuing to read the ancient records. The Architects built these systems to recognize genetic markers. The weapons are keyed to only work against the species that committed genocide. Dr. Carter understood immediately. That's why the aliens said this sector was dangerous for carbon-based life. The defense systems would kill them if they got too close to the central installations. But humans are also carbon-based. Chief Walsh pointed out. Dr. Murphy smiled. For the first time since entering the ruins, that's the key. Humans are completely unrelated to the galactic genocide. We weren't even in space when it happened. The Architect systems see us as a new species that might be worthy of their technology. Suddenly, the chamber filled with a new sound. A voice began speaking in perfect English, coming from hidden speakers throughout the room. Welcome, representatives of humanity. We have been waiting for a species like yours to find her. The team looked around in amazement. Dr. Carter was the first to speak. Who are you? We are the preserved consciousness of the Architect civilization. When our bodies died, we transferred our minds into these installations. We have been sleeping for 3,000 years, waiting for a worthy species to awaken us. Dr. Murphy stepped forward. We are sorry for what happened to your people. Thank you. We have watched your species through your broadcasts that reached this sector. Humans show promise. Unlike the current galactic powers, you have the capacity for both war and peace. Destruction and creation. The holographic display changed to show the space battle above. The human ship was still fighting against overwhelming odds, but the ancient installations throughout the sector were beginning to power up. Your ship is in danger, the voice continued. But we can help. The question is whether humanity is ready for the responsibility that comes with our technology. Dr. Carter looked at her team. What kind of responsibility? The power to reshape the galaxy. Our technology can destroy entire star systems or create new worlds. It can be used to bring peace or wage war on an unimaginable scale. Chief Walsh checked his communication device. The battle is getting worse up there. Captain Harrison needs help soon. The architect voice seemed to understand their urgency. We will activate our defense systems to protect your ship. But first, you must prove that humans can be trusted with ultimate power. How do we do that? Dr. Murphy asked. By showing us that you fight to protect the innocent, not to conquer the galaxy. The choice you make here will determine whether humanity becomes the next galactic guardian or just another empire built on violence. The ancient defense systems were fully online now, waiting for the human decision that would change the course of galactic history. The space above the ancient planet exploded with new activity as 12 human warships dropped out of hyperspace. Captain Beth Taylor led the Earth reinforcement fleet into the middle of the largest space battle in galactic history. This is Captain Taylor to all human vessels. Form defensive formation around the Defiance. We are here to bring our people home, she announced over the communication system. On the planet's surface, Dr. Carter and her team watched the battle through the architect holographic display. The ancient voice spoke to them with urgency. Your reinforcements have arrived, but they are still outnumbered. The alien coalition has called their entire military force to this sector. Captain Jake Harrison's voice crackled through the communication device. Ground team, report your status. We have Earth fleet here, but more alien ships are arriving every minute. Dr. Carter responded quickly. Jake, we found the truth. The aliens built their entire civilization on genocide. They killed the original inhabitants of this sector and stole their technology. Back on Earth, General Paul Jackson monitored the battle from military headquarters. His face was grim as he watched the tactical displays. The human fleet was facing over 200 alien warships, with more arriving constantly. Sir, we are detecting massive energy buildups throughout the Kepler Nexus, reported Lieutenant Commander Alex Kim, his intelligence officer. Whatever is in that sector is waking up. General Jackson studied the reports. Can our ships hold out until we understand what we are dealing with? Unknown, sir. But Captain Harrison's team on the surface may have found something important. In the ancient control chamber, the architect consciousness continued to speak. We can activate our defensive systems now, but first humanity must make a choice. Our weapons can destroy the alien fleet completely. The question is whether you will choose genocide in return for what they did to us. Dr. Helen Murphy looked at the memorial wall showing the billions of architects who had died. They murdered your entire civilization. Don't you want revenge? Revenge is not the same as justice, the voice replied. We learned that lesson too. Our peaceful nature made us weak when we needed to be strong. But strength without wisdom leads to the same evil that destroyed us. Chief Petty Officer Danny Walsh checked his equipment. Whatever we decide, we need to decide fast. The human fleet is taking heavy damage. The holographic display showed the space battle in real time. Captain Taylor's ships were fighting with desperate courage, but the alien numbers were overwhelming. Human ships were being destroyed, one by one. Dr. Carter made contact with the Defiance. Jake, we need to make a decision down here. The architects can help us, but they want to know if we will use their weapons for justice or revenge. Captain Harrison's voice was strained. Lisa, we are losing ships up here. Whatever choice we make it fast. The architect voice spoke again. Captain Harrison, we have been listening to your communications. Your species shows promise, but we need proof. If we give you our weapons, will you use them only to defend the innocent? Jake responded immediately. We came here to explore and learn, not to conquer. We only fight because we were attacked first. That is good, but not enough. True wisdom comes from knowing when to stop fighting. Will you show mercy to your enemies if they surrender? The question hung in the air as the battle raged above. General Jackson, listening from Earth, understood the importance of this moment. Captain Harrison, this decision will define humanity's future in the galaxy. Dr. Murphy studied the ancient records more closely. The architects faced the same choice when they were being attacked. They chose peace over war. And it cost them everything. But maybe that was the right choice. Dr. Carter said. Maybe they knew that becoming killers would make them no better than their enemies. The architect voice seemed pleased. You understand? We could have built weapons of pure destruction, but instead we created defensive systems that respond to the moral character of those who use them. Chief Walsh looked at the control panels around them. So these weapons will only work if we use them the right way. Correct! Our technology reads the intentions of the user. It will protect the innocent and defend against aggressors, but it will not commit genocide or unnecessary destruction. Captain Taylor's voice came over the communication system. All human ships, we are being overwhelmed. We need help now. Jake made the decision for all humanity. Architect consciousness, we accept your offer. We will use your technology to defend our people and protect the innocent, but we will not use it for conquest or revenge. Then you have proven yourselves worthy. Activating defensive systems now. The ancient installations throughout the Kepler Nexus came to life with power beyond imagination. Beams of pure energy reached across space, creating shields around the human ships. The alien weapons could no longer penetrate the protective barriers, Captain. Taylor watched in amazement as her damaged ships were suddenly safe. What is happening? Our shields are at 300% normal strength, Dr. Carter explained from the planet. The architect defense systems are protecting us, but they are also scanning the alien ships to determine their intentions. The alien fleet found themselves facing something they had never encountered. Their weapons were useless against the ancient shields, but the architect systems were not attacking them either. Instead, energy beams were scanning each alien ship, reading the minds and intentions of their crews. Attention, alien vessels. The architect voice spoke across all communication channels. We are the architects you murdered 3,000 years ago. We have returned to judge your civilizations. The lead Zephyrian commander tried to respond. The architects are dead. We destroyed them long ago. You destroyed our bodies, but our consciousness survived. We have been waiting for a species worthy of our technology to awaken us. Humanity has proven themselves worthy. Now you must face the consequences of your crimes. Captain Joe Barnes, commander of the largest human ship, watched as the alien fleet began to break apart. Some ships were trying to escape, while others were powering up weapons for a final desperate attack. Dr. Chris Lee, the consciousness transfer specialist on Barnes's ship, was studying the architect technology. Captain, I am reading massive data. Transfers from the ancient installations. They are downloading something into our ship computers. The architect voice explained. We are sharing our knowledge with humanity. You will learn our science, our history, and our wisdom. But remember, this knowledge comes with the responsibility to protect all innocent life. General Jackson, watching from Earth, saw the tide of battle turning. All human vessels maintain defensive positions, do not attack unless directly threatened. The alien fleet was in chaos. Many ships were surrendering, while others were trying to fight against impossible odds. The architect systems were not destroying them, but they were, making it clear that the age of alien dominance was over. Dr. Carter and her team prepared to return to their shuttle. The architects want us to return to the fleet. They say the real test is just beginning. As they left the ancient control chamber, Dr. Murphy looked back at the memorial wall. They could have destroyed their enemies completely, but they chose to give them a chance to surrender instead. Chief Walsh nodded. That takes more courage than fighting. The shuttle lifted off from the planet and headed back toward the human fleet. The space battle was ending, but the war for the galaxy's future was just beginning. Humanity now had the power to reshape civilization itself, but they would have to prove they could use that power wisely. The architect consciousness spoke one final time. The test is not over. Humans having the power to show mercy is easy. The hard part comes when you must decide what to do with your defeated enemies. Captain Joe Barnes stood on the bridge of his massive battleship as the architect. Technology flowed into the human fleet's computers. The ancient knowledge was beyond anything humanity had ever imagined. Weapons that could destroy stars, shields that could protect entire planets, and energy sources that would last forever. But with the power came a terrible choice. The alien fleet was broken and scattered throughout the Kepler Nexus. Some ships had surrendered immediately when they realized they could not win. Others were still trying to fight against the impossible architect defenses. A few were attempting to escape the sector entirely. Captain Jake Harrison returned to the UHS Defiance with Dr. Carter and her team. The ancient control chamber had given them complete access to architect technology, but it had also shown them the full scope of the alien crimes across the galaxy. "Jake, you need to see this," Dr. Carter said as she uploaded the architect records to the ship's computer. "The genocide was even worse than we thought." The holographic display showed star maps stretching across the galaxy. Red markers indicated the locations of 17 different civilizations that the alien coalition had destroyed over the past 1,000 years. Each marker represented billions of dead. Dr. Helen Murphy looked at the records with sadness. The architects were not the first. Every time a new species developed advanced technology or started asking difficult questions, the aliens destroyed them. Captain Barnes contacted the Defiance from his ship. "Captain Harrison, we are receiving surrender requests from over half the alien fleet. What are your orders?" Jake studied the tactical display. The architect weapons could destroy every alien ship in minutes. The ancient technology was so advanced that the current galactic civilizations looked like children playing with toys in comparison. But the architect consciousness had made it clear that revenge was not the answer. "Joe, accept all surrender requests. Any ship that wants to lay down arms can do so safely." Dr. Chris Lee, working on Bond's ship, made an important discovery. "Captains, the architect technology is not just weapons and shields. I am finding records of consciousness transfer, genetic healing, and terraforming equipment. They could turn dead worlds into gardens." The lead Zephyrian commander, his ship disabled and surrounded, sent a final message to the human fleet. "Humans, you have won. But remember that we ruled this galaxy for 1,000 years. Power corrupts all species eventually. You will become like us." Jake responded personally. "Maybe, but we are going to try something different." Ambassador Mary Foster arrived on the fastest ship Earth could send. The diplomatic vessel dropped out of hyperspace just as the battle was ending. Her job was to handle whatever came next. "Captain Harrison, I have been given full authority to negotiate on behalf of Earth," she announced as her shuttle docked with the Defiance. Jake met her in the shuttle bay. "Ambassador, we have a situation unlike anything in galactic history. We now have access to technology that could reshape civilization itself." Foster looked at the data Dr. Carter had compiled. The scope of the alien crimes was staggering, but so was the power that humanity now controlled. "What does the architect consciousness recommend?" The ancient voice spoke through the ship's communication system. "We recommend that humanity choose carefully. Our technology responds to the moral intentions of its users. If you seek conquest, it will fail you. If you seek justice and protection, it will serve you well." Captain Barnes reported new developments. "We are detecting massive energy signatures from the center of the sector. Something big is happening at the main architect installation." Double quotes. Dr. Carter checked her sensors. "The central complex is fully active now. It looks like the consciousness is preparing to do something major." The architect voice explained. "We are activating the final protocol. This sector will become a new center of galactic government, but only if humanity proves they can govern with wisdom instead of force." Ambassador Forster understood the implications. "You want us to replace the current galactic order? The current order is built on murder and oppression. It must end. But the question is whether humanity will build something better or just become new tyrants." Jake looked at his crew, then at the tactical display showing the surrendered alien ships. "What happens to the aliens who committed these crimes? That is for you to decide. Justice is not the same as revenge, but neither is it the same as ignoring past crimes." Dr. Murphy accessed the architect legal records. Their justice system was based on rehabilitation rather than punishment. They believed that most evil came from fear and ignorance, not inherent corruption. Chief Petty Officer Danny Walsh, back from the planet mission, had a practical question. "What about the aliens who refused to surrender? Some of those ships are still fighting. The architect systems were already handling that problem. Energy beams from the ancient installations were disabling the remaining hostile ships without destroying them. The technology could neutralize threats without killing the crews. Captain Barnes received a priority message from Earth. General Paul Jackson's image appeared on the communication screen. Captain, I need a full report on your capabilities. The entire galaxy is watching what happens next. Jake responded for the combined human fleet. General, we have access to technology beyond our current understanding. We can defend ourselves against any threat, but more importantly, we can help rebuild galactic civilization properly. What are your recommendations, Captain? Ambassador Foster spoke up. General, I recommend we establish a new galactic government based on the architect principles, but we need to do it carefully. Too much change too fast could cause chaos. The architect consciousness offered guidance. We suggest a transition period. The current alien governments can continue to exist, but under new rules. No more genocide, no more territorial expansion through conquest, and no more suppressing younger species. Dr. Chris Lee made another discovery. The architect technology includes something called empathy enhancers, devices that can help different species understand each other better. Maybe we can prevent future conflicts by improving communication. Jake made the decision that would define humanity's role in the galaxy. We accept the responsibility, but we do it the human way. We offer our enemies a chance to change instead of destroying them. The surrender process took several hours. Most alien ships gave up without further fighting once they realized the hopelessness of their situation. The crews were frightened but alive. Ambassador Foster began the complex process of reorganizing galactic government. We will establish a new federation based on protection of all sentient life. Every species gets representation, and no one gets special privileges based on age or technology. The architect voice expressed approval. You have chosen wisely. Our technology will serve you as long as you serve justice. 3 days later, the Kepler Nexus had become the center of a new galactic federation. The ancient architect cities were being converted into government buildings and research centers. Human engineers worked alongside reformed alien scientists to understand the incredible technology. Captain Harrison stood on the observation deck of the new Federation headquarters, looking out at the ships of dozens of different species working. Together, the transition was not easy, but it was happening. Dr. Carter joined him at the viewing window. Do you think we made the right choice? We could have just destroyed them all. Jake watched a human ship and a Zephyrian vessel working together. To repair a damaged station, the architects were right. Having the power to destroy your enemies is not as important as having the wisdom to turn them into allies. But what if the alien commander was right? What if power corrupts us eventually? Jake smiled. Then hopefully, by the time that happened, we will have taught the galaxy well enough that someone else will be ready to stop us. The architect consciousness spoke one final time. The test is complete. Humanity has proven they came ready for battle, but more importantly, they came ready for peace. The galaxy is in good hands. The age of tyranny was over. The age of cooperation had begun.